Welcome to the Game Changer 00100 show. I'm your host, Game Changer. All right. So today I was over on Chantel Simone. Shout out to her. They were talking about, how women will bring up this awful, revisionist history of the 40s and 50s and how, just cheating and beating. Like that's just what black men did back then. And this is to scare women into feminism is what it boils down to. Like feminism is the cure all. Feminism is the answer to everything that a woman suffers through, which is complete and total nonsense. It's a scare tactic basically. It's to scare women, regular women, from getting me a sandwich. And I don't play that. Don't come between me and my sandwich getting. So Chantel was addressing a female, a 56-year-old woman, or 54-year-old woman, who basically was co-signing what April Mason was saying, and and she just did a response video on that. She asked me to join, so I did. So shout out to her. While on there, somebody comes up, and here, let me share the screen so y'all can see what I'm talking about. This guy. The guy in the bottom left. Now, of course, that's not the actual him. That's how he chose to draw himself. Take a look at how he chose to manifest himself. Look at his hair. Look at the facial expression. It's like when I take a pen and pad and draw my face, this is what I want people to see when they hear my voice. I'm not going to make individual comments on the pseudo appearance. I'm just going to say that this is what he chose. This is how he chose to represent himself. Let me show you how I choose to represent myself. Hold on. This is how I choose to represent myself. Yes. But hey, it's your pen, it's your ink, and you can make your hairdo any way you want to. All right. So, moving past that, I want y'all to hear what this person had to say.
I appreciate that. Hello, how are you? Thank you so much for your patience.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you?
Doing well. How are you? Oh,
I'm doing well. What are your thoughts?
so I come from a sort of a different perspective of it, right?
I come from a different perspective. See, okay, I'm going to translate that. Basically, he's saying this is my attempt to seem interesting.
I don't think the past is irrelevant insofar as I think it is informed the present, right?
Nobody said the past is irrelevant. What they're saying is it's fabricated and it's used as a tool to trick women into feminism.
When it comes to the quote unquote color suffering of the black community, I mean, I think if we look to the 1940s and the 1950s as a person who's deeply interested in history, I, I could go on and on about how that would inform the present, but
No, you can't. No, you can't. As somebody who's deeply interested in history, you don't know nothing. You know nothing about history. What do you know about history? What in history told you about cheating and beating in the 1940s and 50s? Not a goddamn thing. Imbecile. What do you think happened? Do you think that like 1939, they was like, like New Year's Eve, 1939, they said, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! And smack the shit out of his wife? No, you're making it up. Nothing like that was recorded. You're full of crap.
Very recently, I was made aware of an idea called black femicide, and
oh God, every now and again, black femicide. Every now and again, they make up a word. They just make up a word. First of all, femicide seems like something you put on your condom, kind of like spermicide, but it only takes away the female sperm. Like, what kind of crap is that? You heard the word black femicide and you decided to respond. You was like, oh, this is something that I need to address. You want to know what that makes you? Here, I'm gonna show you. This is what that makes you. Filthy mockingbird. Listen to that again. Tell him, Robin. Filthy mockingbird. You're a filthy mockingbird. You hear some stupidity and you decide to mock it. You're a filthy. Let me play it one more time. Filthy mockingbirds. Can't stand these filthy mockingbirds. I really can't. Black femicide. You've seen something on Reddit or just some dumbass comment from some dumbass bitch, and you just decide to repeat it because you're an imbecile. But I like history. You're an imbecile. Filthy mockingbird. Can't stand these filthy mockingbirds. Come up with your own original ideas, your own original thoughts. Jackass. Man. Freaking mockingbirds. All right, let me continue. Shout out to Great Britain.
and I kind of brushed it off. But then I had to write up a report from the FBI, which indicated last year, I was going to say yesterday, last year that every 6 hours a black woman was killed, so 4 black women per day. So I think framing the conversation.
Okay. Every 6 hours, a black woman was killed. How many babies were aborted in 2020? Let's start there. I guess half of those would be femicide, right? I mean, there is no greater aside than that, right? But let's do some math. Since you're a history guy, let's do some math. Okay. Actually, no. You know something? I'm going to wait. Filthy mockingbird. I'm going to wait. Watch this.
In the 1940s and the 1950s, ignores present.
What does that have to do with the... Hold on, I'm going to play that again. What does that have to do with the 1940s and 50s? So basically, he brings up a stat from last year, because he loves history, the history of last year, jackass. So, and then he says the 1940s and 50s. Listen, I'm good.
So I think framing the conversation in the 1940s and the 1950s ignores present day trauma. And then it goes on to say 60% of black women have experienced domestic violence, and 63%, sorry. And so I don't have the stats in front of me, so I apologize. But I don't think, I don't know who April is. I don't really care to sort of investigate the conversation. But I do recognize that there is some importance in a woman
right, stop right there. There is some importance on a woman's ability to provide herself. So when he brings up the 4 women a day thing, did those women not provide for themselves? Did feminism protect those women? Did the ability to have having a female vice president protect those women? Like, what protected those women? Not a goddamn thing. Did the slut walks protect these women? Did this whole fat shaming campaign protect these women? Did the fact that these bitches are allowed to be fat protect these women? Are they more protected now than they were when they were barefoot and pregnant and get my granddad a motherfucking sandwich? They didn't die. Huh? 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 How is feminism saving them? Where is the campaign? Where's the bulletproof vest campaign for feminism? Where's the pink vest movement? It don't exist. You want to know why? Because it's stupid. And it's perpetuated by male feminists like you. So women are dying more now than they were in the 40s and 50s. So we need more feminism. But things got worse since feminism. You're an imbecile. I was reading Black Femicide, Filthy Mockingbird. Let me go to the comments for a bit. Shout out to Great Britain. It says, man, it's been a minute, family. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while, bearded man. Thanks for coming through. I appreciate it all the same. All right, thanks a lot. Yeah. Only thing worse than a feminist is a male feminist. They're not gonna fuck you. And this is to all you male feminists. I want y'all to understand me and understand me good. They're not gonna fuck you. I know what you're thinking. You look at these hippies and these armpit bitches, and you're like, ooh, I want some of that. You look at these buzzcut bitches and says, I want some of that. Perhaps if I listen to their talking points and say crap like femicide, perhaps I'll get a taste of that. You won't. Ever. Ever. No, they don't want Pookie. They want Keisha. That's what they want. Or something along the rainbow. But they don't want, and they damn sure don't want you. They want Keisha to dress up like Pookie and put a strap-on on. That's what they want. Whatever it is, it ain't you. Why? Because you don't have a penis. And you say stupid stuff like that, and you're a filthy mockingbird. You're not a man of your own convictions. You're a mockingbird. It's a joke. Nobody want no crap like that. So you just out there pander, femicide. Get your dumb ass up. Filthy mockingbird. All right, let me read some more. Speaking of which, okay. I honestly had no idea what the dude is saying. That's because my brain instantly tuned him out altogether. That's because he don't have a penis. Like, see, male feminists, women don't hear you. Women don't hear you. Why? Because you're not meant to speak. You're not meant to speak. You're meant to do as the leading feminists command you do. That is what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be listening, not talking. Women don't hear you. You don't have a voice. And look at your haircut. That is the story of your life. That's what it's like being you. Spending your life chasing armpit pussy.
In connection to that. And then to the extent that we're talking about inflation in the contemporary world, a one income household.
What does inflation have to do with it? So clearly you don't understand economics or history or math. You're a man without a subject. And I could tell you didn't fail PE because you don't have or you didn't pass PE because you don't have a penis. What did you major in gender studies and still didn't get laid? Out of here.
Household is not going to be practical, right?
Most definitely.
So
I think 100%. The thing, and I think.
Like, see, I disagree with Chantel. And I think she was agreeing with him to be polite. Be polite because you don't have a penis. But here's the thing. Here's the thing about the whole one income thing. Immigrants do it. Yes, you can. And I'm not talking about San Francisco or LA or Honolulu or New York or something like that. I'm talking about regular income people, have stay-at-home wives, have one income families that and I've seen it happen in places before. The husband tar rules or something like that. It can happen. You just gotta roll up your sleeves a little bit. It can happen. But his only answer to this is feminism, which we know doesn't work.
I think you misunderstood.
And how in the hell, if that was the case, then single people wouldn't exist? You want to know what a one income household is? A single person, dumbass. Chantel not being married, and I don't know if she lived with her boyfriend, but I don't think so. Because we would see like shadows of looming, dudes around if or a dude around if she did, or somebody interrupting make me a sandwich or some shit like that. But so she has a one income household. She does. And I think Reva does too. I do. I don't stay with my girl, and she don't stay with me. So yeah, we are one income households. Well, you think if I had to feed an extra person, I would go broke? But see, this is what I'm talking about, Ruby. A decent middle class lifestyle and privilege is the majority. No, okay. If depending on how you define a middle class lifestyle, will you get the 2-car garage? No, you probably get no garage or a single garage. You probably have 1 car as opposed to 2. The car might be a little bit older than you would like for it to be, but don't make it out listen. But all right, put it like this: all the extra shit you get from being lower middle class to upper middle class, you are spending thousands of hours of your life every year that you could be doing other stuff just to get the difference in quality of life that's almost negligible. So it's not worth it, But even still, it's not meant to be a permanent thing, and it's not something that you need to do. See, he's talking about if you don't do it because of inflation. They don't know what inflation is, but if you don't do it because of inflation, you will starve. That's what he's insinuating. He's insinuating that if you have an average income and 2 people try to live off of it, you will go to work. And then, and after work, you will come home to your homeless tent, and then it'll African flies will come on your face, and you will be out there starving. That's what he's trying to make it seem like it is.
the purpose of this live stream. I
Hit the like button.
am not against women being successful, women having income, women supporting financially in the household. What I am against is women being successful because men were abusive. So we have to protect ourselves and secure our bags. It put men and the Black community at an unfortunate position because as a man entering a relationship with a woman who is expecting you to be abusive based on what the narrative from back in the day said, it's detrimental. And we need to change that narrative if we want to see better in the Black community. If we want to start seeing more two-parent households, men are no longer putting up with that. Men are no longer putting up with being accountable for actions of men in the past. So in order, I'm not saying the history.
Now, I don't know what's going on, but I could tell he's not listening. He's waiting for his turn to spill some more feminist bullshit.
History is irrelevant. History is important, yes. And I'm not here to argue if men were abusive or not. The purpose of this video is if men were abusive in 1450s and 40s, the 1950s and 40s, not anymore. All right. And even if they are, no, let us not choose to date the ones that are abusive.
You see that? I told you he wasn't listening. He wasn't listening. He only got ears for armpit chicks. He only got ears for women that don't shave their armpit. Chantel's hair's too long. She's too feminine. He needs a woman with a certain amount of, grit on her, or whatever you call it, that prison grease that those bitches be having on them. See, all right. True story. Wherever it is, and you dudes, you watch porn and you get like a prison fantasy or something like that. Don't, because I used to work in a city called Livermore. For those of you who are from the area, and if you get off BART, back then it let you off at Danville Station. And Danville Station is where Santa Rita Prison is, county jail, right? And every now and again, and the women's jail is there too. And every now and again, it'd be like a busload of them bitches. They get out and they be like, ooh, you so cute, and I haven't seen a man in so long. Well, don't see me. Don't see 17-year-old me. What the hell are you looking at me for? You got prison juice on you. Whatever it is, it's effed up, and you look all kind of just nasty weird. I don't want to deal with that crap. But that's his flavor. He has a taste for that.
The notion that it is a narrative, as a Black man, I appreciate it, but it's not in the past. It's not in the distant past. In 2020.
You just said you're a history person. You didn't pay attention to what she was saying.
Yeah. 4 Black women were killed per day. Right? This is
Okay,
talking about.
I have a question. Wait, hold on, Rima. In an effort to keep it short, what is the solution? What solution are you bringing by saying that? What's your solution?
So in terms of solution, I think it's a two-pronged process. On one hand, we have to acknowledge that there are some malfeasance in our community.
This nigga just said malfeasance. He just said malfeasance. Damn it.
And how we address that is going to be really taking a serious look at both men and women and the practical implication of sort of interaction, right? That's the first topic of attention. On the second front, it is going to be about how do we figure out independence in a relationship? If it's appropriate,
Okay, I want y'all to take a special close look at Reva's expression change when he said that. I want y'all to take a special close look. First of all, shout out to all the pick me chicks that has a particular thing that I physically or psychologically fetishize about them. See, y'all don't know it because she don't do it on camera, but Chantel wears dark rim glasses. That's a fetish of mine. And Reva has braces. That's another fetish of mine. Shout out to pick me chicks that have fetishes of mine. You know, Melody with the earrings. You know, shout out to them. Watch her expression change as he says this.
Look at both men and women and the practical implication of sort of interaction, right? That's been the first of our physical approach. On the second point, it is going to be about how do we figure out independence in relationships? If it's a
Now, you want to know why she turned her head like that? Like, what the fuck is he talking about? You know why she did that? Because there's no such thing as independence in a relationship. There's no such thing. He said independence in a relationship. And she turned like, what? Now she's polite, but you're stupid. I'm not polite. You're stupid. It's one of those things that just sounds stupid the moment you hear it. Let's talk about freedom and slavery. You're stupid. Let's talk about being single in a marriage. You're stupid. Let's talk about independence in a relationship. You're stupid. Don't be stupid. Look at the look on her face. She's like, what the hell did he just say? Yeah, I'm alone on the team. Yeah, the whole concept just reeks of stupidity. Hit the like button.
because you said you were not against women to be successful, thankfully that's a good thing. But what does that mean in terms of if there is a who gets to step out and march? Because I think the notion of that is very well when you not don't know her again. But there's that. To the extent you can stand on your own and you're not actually dependent on a man, then the decision to leave in, when you're in a exclusive relationship becomes that more, much more practical. I hope that makes sense.
It didn't. It didn't at all. Basically, everything that you say or attempt to say that leads to feminism being the solution, even though it hasn't solved the problem, is not going to make sense. Exactly. Lone wolf pack, yeah. Like, let's talk about the betas that are alphas. It's just ridiculous.
Game changer, what do you want to say?
Yeah, I do. So you said 4 women per day were killed. Let's just say if we take that statistic as absolute fact, right? Oh, and by the way, that statistics is wrong. I looked it up. Even though it has nothing to do with modern marriages and things like that, and being submissive, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Exactly. You see, he wants to point the narrative that the women who died, they died from sandwich getting. Like if the statistic had read, like, yes, there was a dutiful wife and mother who while pregnant and barefoot, was getting her husband a sandwich and he killed her. And that happens 4 times a day. Like, if he were to say that, then it would be like, okay, maybe we should rethink everything. But no, these are random independent bitches. All right, shout out to Dane C. It said, that, what's that? Oh, that's his name? Themis? Why is it two people there? Anyway, dude, effeminate. Check his channel. Okay, I'm gonna check his channel. I knew something was strange going on with this dude. All right, keep working. Thanks a lot, Big Mac. All right, let me see what else we got here. All right, Danny C. Thanks a lot. It says GC. His channel is called The Miss and Thought. You only scratch the surface of who this dude is. Oh, really? Really? I think I might have to investigate. Because I knew something. Okay. Yeah, all I know about him is the avatar and what he said now. So you're telling me that beneath this is more weird ass crap? Okay. See, I didn't know that. Let's just because that's absolute fact, right? Even though it has nothing to do with modern marriages and things like that, and being submissive, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Let's just say if we take that in the fact, how many Black women live in America?
We have 13% of the population is made up of Black people.
Right. So 13% of about 400 million is what?
I think 40 something. I can't do the math right now. Sorry.
Yeah, so it's not 40 something. About 52 million Black people, meaning that half of that would be, about 26 million Black females. Half of that, 13 million Black adult women. Now, of that, 4 are being affected. Are you saying that we should change the entire marriage structure and relationship structure for 4 people out of 13 million? Is that what you're saying?
That is a rhetorical format.
That is not a rhetorical format at all. It's not at all. You know what that means? It means that you don't really know what rhetorical means. Like a rhetorical question is a question that wasn't meant to be answered. This was actually meant to be answered. You're an idiot. And you're not a rhetorical idiot. You're an actual idiot. Let's listen at this again. This is his response. Structure for 4 people out of 13 million. Is that what you're saying?
That is a rhetorical format.
Excuse me. There weren't any straw men in this because I wasn't talking about and he don't know what straw man is. This man just pulls words out of his enormously, unusually gaping ass that's full of words like straw man and rhetorical, and puts them in places that they don't belong. He just pulls stuff out. Like, okay, I'm going to say rhetorical, and I'm going to say straw man. I'm going to use these words because these are words that people say when they don't want to answer questions. I heard smart people use these words when they don't want to answer questions. So I'm going to use these words, but it don't apply. Who is the straw man? Where am I creating details of an individual that don't exist? You dumbass. Male feminists are idiots. Male feminists are idiots. That's why they became that. Individual is bringing up the numbers. So once again, should we change the life and culture of millions of? Excuse me. Should we change the life and culture of millions of people because of the 4 that's affected? How many people die on the freeway due to car accidents? Should we get rid of freeways?
And they would change the policies on the street to prevent death at all.
No, they haven't. If they would have changed the policy on the streets, then they would have gotten rid of cars. They would have gotten rid of cars a long time ago, the moment the first person died from cars. Right? Some people die from cars. Why not get rid of cars? Are they going to change the Second Amendment? People die from guns. No, what you're talking about is a complete overhaul. And guess what? They already overhauled it. They already overhauled it. They're strong and independent ever. And your statistic is something that happened while they're at their strongest and independentists.
We are not talking about restructuring society based on one or two.
Yes, you are.
Well,
he said we're not talking about structuring a society based on one or two people that's killed. No, you're talking about restructuring it based on 4 people that's killed. Jackass.
no, it's not. It's not saying 4 people are dying.
Okay, I gotta go. Okay, I gotta go. Thank you.
I wanted to say something very crucial. When it pertains to this topic, it's very, very, very important that certain things are explained. So especially even when Chris was on, I had to ask him intricate questions to explain what he's saying, because we are very accountable of the things that we say, especially pertaining to these topics on our platforms. Okay, so when he's saying like, oh yeah, the men walked in and they probably had a rough day, that's alluding to what Ms. Mason was saying, right? So we need to clarify certain things. It's very, very important. But also, I believe this conversation has gotten to kind of like gone down this road of if it happened or didn't happen, or the reason why it happened, and protecting our women and protecting them against men, right? And that's not what the conversation was solely about, because we've never negated the fact that domestic violence is still prevalent today, just like how it was back then. What is the big difference, though? The big difference is that if it was as rampant as we're saying is that it was before, and right now the numbers that I'm sorry, I can't see the name because of the super chat, but as he just said, I'm sorry, sir, but as you just said, the biggest difference is that women were married before and they're not now. And then not only that, in focusing on solution, in putting these fear-based narratives in women's head, women who want to get married, women and men who also want to get married, men who want to start families and work together so we can see better in the Black community, putting these fear-based narratives and these fear-based statistics in their head. I'm not a type of woman to hit a man. I'm dating a man who's not a type of man to hit me. Right. I'm not concerned about the numbers or anything. I focus on me. I become the best version of myself. He focuses on himself. He becomes the best version. Together we form a 2-parent household and positively impact the Black community. I don't have to go out here spreading, the 1940s and 60s, men were abusive, or 1 in 4 women get this or what. I don't have to be spreading that narrative, because that's not the narrative I want to pass on to future generations. I respect you for coming up here. Thank you so much for coming up here. I always say I use my channel to be solution-based. I identify the problem because it's necessary to identify the problem, the reason behind the problem, all those things. But are we going to sit here and discuss the problem 6, 4, 5 hours live, people discussing the problem, and not one can we say, hey, let's talk about the solution. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming up. Can 30 seconds.
Yeah. What do you think the problem is when we talk about this sort of
I respectfully cannot get into that. I'm so sorry. I was not.
All right, they being polite with this dude. Let me just end it there. So they're about to get rid of him. All right. So, gosh, actually, let me do this again. Let me do this. I have to, because this dude, I can't stand people like this. See, that's what Chantel should have said when she got rid of his ass. Filthy mockingbird. Filthy mockingbirds. God. All right. Now, let's do some math, shall we? All right. So, 4 divided by 13 million. Equals. Okay. So, for those of you who don't know, when they say e to the 7th, what they're saying is that's how many decimal places past 1, or past 1 that it is, and then it's followed by 307. So, in other words, when he says for a day, as far as percent of the population, we're talking about 0.0000307% of the population. 0.0000307692337, all so on and so forth, percent of the population. You imbecile. You are imbecile for even thinking of stuff like this. Now, let's do this per year, shall we? I want to eradicate this clown. All right, so 4, 5, 6. Oh, e to the 4. Okay, so it came down some. So now it's 0.0001%. Do you want to know what this means? It means these odds are, it's less than the number of germs that remain in your mouth after Listerine. Why? Because Listerine kills 99.9% of germs, meaning that there's 0.1% of a badass germ that still stay in your mouth. Well, this is less than that. This is less than the remaining germs that is on Listerine. I did times it by 100. That's why I didn't go back 7 decimal places. I went back 5. I know what I'm doing, Ruby. I did times it by 100. So what you do when you times it by 100 is you just subtract 2 from this number here. Know what I'm doing? That's what I said. I said 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. That's 5 zeros. It's negligible. It's bullshit. And he's full of it. And you want to know something? It's worse than that. Hold on. Because I found an article that he found this whole femicide thing from. All right. Give me a second. No, that's okay. Filthy mockingbird. All right. So here, I'll share the screen for a second. So this is the article that, he got this from. All right, this article is 2 months old, so he just read it 2 months ago, and he just decided to beat a mockingbird for it. All right, so hold on. All right, let's see. At least 4 Black women and girls. Stop right there. Stop right there. Because you know something? He said women. This is women and girls, which means that 13% that I did, that 13% that I did is actually less than that. Because, or that 13 million is actually more like 26 million. Because I didn't even count the girls. I just counted the women. So I'm going to put the calculator back up And we're going to show how many zeros it is now, how negligible it is now in the whole population of things, in the whole scheme of things. All right. Share screen. Hit the like button. So this is now 4 divided by 26. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 million. Equal. Huh. Okay, so it's still to the 7. It's just 1 point. So it really, yeah. And let's do it for the year. All right. So 4 times. Okay, so this went to 5. So yeah, it's 3 trailing decimals before the 1. So it's 0.00056%. See how ludicrous this dude is? I know history. You're imbecile. Complete imbecile. You filthy mockingbird. All right. So now I want to and keep in mind that these are not traditional women. This has nothing to do with the relationship structure as it exists. The current relationship structure didn't save them. And really, this article was more related to the increase due to COVID last year, or due to beer flu, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. All right. So let's see. It says the biggest in 6 decades. But okay, here, I'm going to read this paragraph. More vulnerable to violence. The increase of murders of Black women comes as the overall U.S. murder rate rose nearly 30% during the pandemic. So everybody was dying more. Okay. So the biggest jump in 6 decades. That's the everybody, in 6 decades. The number of people murdered increased sharply across racial groups. So everybody was getting it. But okay, here's another thing that bothers me about people like this and dudes like this and the mockingbirds that mock them. Everybody, according to this, everybody is dying more, but they're saying, yeah, but Black women. How selfish are you? How selfish are you? So, like, imagine just like a bomb taking out a city somewhere. And somebody is sitting down saying, okay, how many of those people were Black women? Is that all you care about? They're basically saying everybody's dying, and you're saying, yeah, but, Black women. All right. Hold on, let's see. The biggest jump in 6 decades, the number of people murdered increased sharply across racial groups and in cities big and small. Most of Americans' homicide victims remained men. Okay. And Black men and boys continue to face the highest overall risk of homicide with at least 2,400 additional Black men and boys killed in 2020. So let's do the math again, shall we? Let's do the math again. Share screen. All right. So 4 times 365. 1,460 total. If you were to add up all the Black women and girls that was killed in 2020, you would have 1,460. That's about 1,000 less than the number of additional black men and boys that were killed. And then this nigga had the audacity to talk about femicide. What about masticide? Like, clearly it's over twice as much. But you focus on femicide. Why? Because the article focuses on femicide. Why? Because you don't have your own brain. All right. Shout out to Edward Anderson. Let's see. With at least 2,400 additional black men and boys killed in 2020 compared to 2019, according to the homicide data report to the FBI. Okay, let's see. The rising murder rate affected black women. Oh, and another thing. Let's just give it a cool 5,000, right? Let's give it a cool 5,000 a year. Out of 26 million, it's negligible. When they say I can't find a man because, 0.00, hold on, let me do 5, because Ruby is listening, 0.00001% of men are gone, and because that 0.00001% men have gone, I can't find a dick. That means that your pussy is at the bottom 0.00001% of vaginal worth if you have that complaint. It's useless. All right, let's see. The rising murder rate has affected black women across the country. Baltimore recorded the highest ever number of women killed in 2020, with at least 48 women murdered throughout the year, many of them black. Oh my God. Oh my God. Cry me a fucking river. Listen at this. Listen at this. I'm going to Google the murder rate of Baltimore. You want to know how I know that Baltimore is a shitty place with a high murder rate? Because I've seen The Wire. That's why. That's why. And their accent is funny. Hold on. Ah, dang. They got like a really elaborate website dedicated to this. This is sick. This is sick. Baltimore. Yeah. Yeah. You couldn't pay me to live there, and trust me, they tried. But no. Look at this. Okay, so 2021 had 316 victims, and 2020 had 335 victims. And if you let this article tell you, hold on, at least 48 women were murdered. 48 out of 335? That means like 200 and what, like 87? Correct my math if I'm wrong. Were men. But you don't care about that. You're talking about femicide when 48 women, and they're not even, and you call it black femicide, not all of them were black. Which is bad in itself. But he's a mockingbird, so he can't think of things outside of what's directly presented to him. But look at this. Look at this data. Look at the graphs and stuff that they got. Look at this. Shootings. Look at it. All this red. The red part is shootings. Why is there so many damn shootings? The fuck is wrong with y'all? Shooting, stabbing. Why in the fuck is there so many unknowns? Look at this. I could not live in Baltimore. I'd rather be in a California jail than a regular Baltimore place. It seems like some fucked up place of the universe. Stabbings, asphyxiation. Y'all out strangling people? You kidding me? Y'all are literally out strangling people. Or smothering them with pillows or something. All right. I don't even want to think about that. But y'all see articles like this? See, this is the propaganda that I'm talking about. 48 women murdered out of 335. And this is the most ever, apparently. According to this, is the like most females that died ever in Baltimore. Oh God, look at this. Look at this. Look at this picture. Look at this. Protect Black Women rally. This, and then you had a white chick there. Oh, there's the buzz cut. There's the buzz cut. There it is. You want to know where the safest place in the world for a Black woman is? Their husband's kitchen. Especially if you marry a cop. Their husband's kitchen. Their husband's bedroom. You want to know why the bedroom is safe? Because it's on the second story. And it's harder to do a drive-by there. Fuck y'all talking about. All right, here's where they call it Black Femicide. In June, Davis organized a march in Little Rock to draw attention to the toll of Black femicide. It seems like they're dying less than everybody. Similar demonstrations were held this year in Chicago, Illinois, and Atlanta, Georgia. Okay. So now they're just putting a new name on something, hoping some jackass Mockingbird retweets it or re-says it again. Hoping that it catches on. Why? Because of Victim Olympics. And you want to know the sick thing about people like this? They sit down and wait for more people to die. And the reason why they wait for more people to die so it can justify their existence. They want that 0.0000037 or 307% to raise. They want it to raise to the point where we should mathematically give a shit. No. If I had to guess, I'm willing to bet that more people die from Viagra than that crap. I'm willing to bet that more people die from getting struck by lightning than that crap. It's ridiculous. And then they just want to change. So that's why we need feminism. Y'all are coming up with the weakest, stupidest reasons ever to justify the need for feminism. Why? Because it's unjustified. You have nothing. You tried something new. You didn't get murdered less. You didn't get less beatings or nothing. Feminism destroyed everything and gave birth to nothing. And you don't want to admit it. You feel that the problems that was caused because of feminism is going to be solved with more feminism. That's what stupid means. Listen, people can die from Viagra. Listen, Do you know how small of a number 0.0000307 is? Like you could put anything. That's such a small percentage of a large population that anything, I mean anything. Like all right, put it like this. I'm pretty sure that 0.0000307% of oranges are red. You know something? It snows in California 0.0000307% of the time. That is such a ridiculously small number. Exactly. You can say that from anything. Flintstones vitamins probably has a greater effect. That is such a ridiculous amount. Like 0.0000307% of kids prefer broccoli over chocolate. Like it's such a ridiculously small amount of anything. Of anything. That it's not even worth covering. Like if somebody said something, take if you wouldn't even care. They wouldn't even put a label on it if that was the case. If 0.0000307% of people died from Starbucks coffee, they would not even change the recipe. Like, isn't there like people that died from like blowfish if you don't serve it right at sushi places? I bet you that's I bet you more people from that. It's ridiculous. And they don't even speak about the cause of these incidences. That has nothing to do. Like it doesn't even say that if more feminism would solve this problem. And another thing, and thank you, Edward, because they're not even saying that society don't already have sufficient safeguards for this. Yes, they do. It's called jail, and it's full of niggas that did stupid shit. There's consequences and repercussions. Yeah. All right. So with that, I'd like to thank the Cash Apps and Super Chats, managers and moderators, those who listen silently, and those who participate in the chat. Make sure you hit that like button on your way out. Subscribe if you haven't already. Oh, and well, some people say if you're not getting notifications, then hit the bell and then hit the bell again. Make sure it's on all. And yeah, outside of that, this is Game Changer 00100. Game over. Peace.